And Centrum? When you were 8 years old, you were living, you were aware, and you were learning. But when you were 8 years old, it's possible that what you learned wasn't true, wasn't actual. You didn't know much when you were 8 years old compared to what you know now. And Centrum, the things that impact us, influence us, the events that happen that have influence on our lives, that influence depends on how old we are, how much we know, what coping skills we have. Things that would impact you, change your life even when you were very young, would probably not affect you at all as an adult. We learn from the things that happen to us. And what we learn depends on where we are in life. Centrum, does all that make sense to you? Maybe I should ask Centrum, do you agree that all of that is true?
Yes.
Well, Centrum, I ask that you look at that 8-year-old experience, examined in that light, in that way. It made sense then. Maybe even had value then. The question is, does it make sense now in your life as a mature young man? So please.
No.
Look again and tell me something. Do you need that depression in your life now?
No.
Something? When you were 8 years old, and whatever happened, happened, some part of your mind was created. And that part represents the influence from the event, the influence that has continued. That's right? That's right, I don't. Oh. Is that a problem with this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Out of microphone battery. Okay. That influence from that experience that has carried forward, continued to influence your life, that influence is represented by some part of your mind. So please identify that part of your mind and let me know when you have done so by writing the word complete on that chalkboard. Now, Dick, you just let me know when that word complete appears.
Complete.
Second, the next task that I ask of you is that you communicate with that part in a certain way. Tell me, are you in communication with that part that you identified?
Yes.
Then, Centrum, please listen to that part. Learn what it believes. Learn why it believes what it believes. Learn why that part is causing the depression. And then, Centrum, when you understand that part, I ask that you educate that part about present life, present needs, values, conditions. That part is stuck back there in time, Centrum, knowing only what you knew when it came into existence. It doesn't know, it's not aware of present life. It's depressed for reasons that were true then, and is still depressed for the same reasons. It doesn't know about the present. And your task, Centrum, is to grow that part up. Centrum, does that request make sense? Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Then, Centrum, please accomplish that task and let me know by the word complete when you have done so.
Complete.
Centrum, were you successful in growing that part up?
Yes.
Centrum, do you believe that part will continue to cause depression from now on?
Yes.
Centrum, do you understand why that part will continue to cause depression?
No.
Then, Centrum, communicate with that part and find out why. Centrum, your task is to find the cause and then resolve that cause. And that's what I'm guiding you to do, to identify those parts of your mind that are causing the depression, doing so in consequence of things that happened before, events in which you learn to be depressed. Does all of this make sense to you, Centrum?
Yes.
Does this seem accurate, logical, true? Does this seem valid to you, Centrum, this concept?
Yes.
Then, Centrum, communicate with that part as thoroughly, as deeply as necessary for you to understand everything about that part. For you to look at the memory of that event, consider it in the light of mature knowledge, you will understand it differently. Centrum, please. Learn what you need to know from the part, and then recondition that part by education. Is my request clear, Centrum?
Yes.
Let me know when you have done that to the limit of your ability. And I say to the class, I don't know what prompted me to ask that question. I don't know where it came from, but it needed to be asked. Did you see that? Use your instincts.
Complete.
Centrum, were you successful this time to the extent that that part is no longer depressed and will not be depressed? In that sense, Centrum, were you successful?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Centrum, there may have been other experiences that contributed to this seasonal depression. I don't know whether there were or whether there were not, but I ask, Centrum, that you search to identify any other part of your mind, any other influence, in other words, that might cause you to continue to be seasonally depressed. Centrum, please search into the furthest reaches of your mind to identify any part of your mind that for any reason might cause this depression to continue. And let me know when the search is complete by the word complete.
Complete.
And, Centrum, did you identify one or more remaining parts of your mind that might contribute to this depression?
Yes.
How many did you identify, Centrum?
4.
Centrum, are you in communication with all 4 of those parts?
Yes.
Then, Centrum, please select one of those 4 parts to begin this work. Select one of those parts and then communicate with that selected part in this way. First, Centrum, listen to the part, much as you did with this previous situation. Listen, learn, Centrum. Learn so that you are in a position to educate, and then do that. Inform that part about present reality. But you can only really do that unless you understand that part, and the only way that can happen is if you listen. Centrum, is my request clear?
Yes.
Please complete that task to the limit of your ability, and let me know by the word complete when you have done so.
Complete.
Centrum, were you successful in this case?
Yes.
Good. Centrum, do you believe this part will continue to cause you to be depressed?
No.
Okay. Then, Centrum, please continue this work addressing each of those 3 remaining parts one at a time. First, listen, learn what you need to know, Centrum. And when you understand the part, educate the part about present reality. In each case, one at a time, Centrum. And let me know when you've completed that task by the word complete.
Complete.
Were you successful, Centrum, in all of those cases?